Today on Discover Wisconsin, we're taking you to the best places to ride in Southeastern Wisconsin. And this time, I'm driving.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
This is an anthem for those who look for more and never say they've seen it all. Windows down, let's take a ride. The good land's great tonight.
When it comes to motorcycling, it really is all about the journey. There's definitely some pit stops you need to make along the way, and that's what we're going to do today in Southeastern Wisconsin. One of the places that has been on my list to visit, even before I started riding, was the Harley-Davidson Museum. Probably one of the most incredible museums I've ever visited. And I really do mean this, whether you're into motorcycling or not, this place, it's going to blow your mind. There's a restaurant on campus. They host a ton of events, bike night, which I'm planning on checking out. And when you walk into the museum itself, you really are going to see a really diverse array of exhibits there. Kristen, I think you have a pretty cool job. I want to know a little bit about what you do and what it's like a day in the life of Kristen.
Sure. I'm the manager of exhibits and curatorial here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Mostly I work on developing content for exhibits and making sure everything gets installed and maintained smoothly. My goal for the visitors to the Harley-Davidson Museum is to have them learn something new, something that they may not know before coming here, something about how Harley-Davidson might be relevant to them even if they're not a rider.
I'm a little partial to the Hollywood stuff. My eye went straight to the Hollywood exhibit. Can you tell me a little bit about what we're standing in front of here?
Sure. We have an exhibit of many motorcycles that have been used in Hollywood films over the years. We're actually standing in front of one of the bikes from Terminator 2, a very famous Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger rode this very bike right here.
This very bike, yes.
That is crazy. And then I hear there's one Elvis himself, the King rode, is that right?
Yes.
What is the story there?
We have a motorcycle from Elvis Presley. A lot of people know the story about how he owned a lot of Cadillacs and gave them away. Well, he also owned a lot of Harley-Davidson motorcycles and also gave those away. That was his third motorcycle that he owned, and it actually came to us from a member of the Memphis Mafia.
Wow, I did not know that. I love the rhinestone bike. I keep talking about that bedazzled one.
Yes.
Do you know the story behind that one?
Sure, I do. We have a lot of bikes here that are also more rolling sculpture or folk art than motorcycle alone. And one of those is the Rhinestone Harley. Now, this was a bike that was put together by a gentleman in Pennsylvania. He bedazzled this bike with all kinds of rhinestones and things like that to customize it.
I feel like he's kind of my spirit animal then, because that is exactly the kind of bike I would customize and design. So I'm riding a Harley throughout the show. I'm wearing all Harley. I mean, I really had to learn a little bit more about the family that started the entire brand over 100 years ago. So, Bill, this is my very first time here. This place is spectacular. What was the influence behind starting a museum in the first place?
Well, welcome to the Harley-Davidson Museum. We're thrilled to have you here. It's truly a treasure chest. The items here, the motorcycles, the memorabilia, the artifacts, there's many different chapters of our history, and that's one thing that's so great about the Harley-Davidson Museum.
So I'm dying to know, where are your favorite places to ride?
You know, I'm really fortunate because I've been able to ride our great motorcycles in many different places around the world, but I have to be honest, some of my favorite places are right here in Wisconsin.
I knew I liked it. I knew I was gonna like you. So we took off from the museum and we ended up heading out to the Holy Hill area. It was so beautiful. Holy Hill, you know, motorcycling or not, one of the best road trip destinations. I mean, the roads that surround Holy Hill itself wind and twist and turn, and it is stunning.
And it looks like we're not the only ones who think so. Share your photos with us on social media for a chance to be featured in an episode of Discover Wisconsin. Coming up next, where in Wisconsin can you find this stunning view? Stay with us. We're back, checking out bike nights and fall sites right here on Discover Wisconsin.
I love Hartford. I would consider it sort of a hidden gem. You know, Milwaukee gets to claim a lot of really great tourist attractions, but there's some great little neighborhoods just outside of Milwaukee that are worth riding through, and Hartford is definitely a really gorgeous small town, a perfect ride-through destination. Believe it or not, motorcycling is actually a fairly exhausting sport. It's easy to work up an appetite when you're on two wheels. All the bikers, when they're heading through Hartford, they stop at Mineshaft. It's Wisconsin's largest restaurant.
You know, it's for all ages, 8 to 80. Of course, food is the big deal, and we have a huge menu here, and we have a very large game room upstairs. There's just always something to do. There's a ton of motorcycles that come here. We are kind of on a route. Riders or groups of riders will stop here for lunch or dinner. Sometimes we'll have the whole Main Street lined up with motorcycles of all kinds.
Come here for the wide variety of food, and it's always good. You can count on it being quick and very good.
Over 40 years in Hartford says a lot, and I just can't imagine what Hartford would be without the Mineshaft here.
You know, I hope to see you all sometime. Come on in.
So while I'm in Hartford, I'm meeting up with the local Hartford Hog chapter. Wayne and Roxanne and another group of about 15 riders or so, we all met outside of Pike Lake State Park. It's located in the Kettle Moraine Forest, so part of the Ice Age Trail. Really, really beautiful views. The topography is amazing. We got lucky and visited during peak week, so the fall foliage was really spectacular. One of the prettiest vistas there at the park is Pike Lake itself. So head on to the lake where they have beach access there. You can pack a picnic. There's also Pike Lake Tower. So if you want the best view of Hartford and the surrounding area, you're gonna wanna climb the steps. It's a little bit of a hike to get to the tower, but once you get there, you're gonna see the prettiest view of Hartford, Pike Lake. You're even going to see Holy Hill off in the distance.
The Kettle Moraine is an incredible glacial landscape that was formed back in the glacial period. It's a very popular place to come out to enjoy hiking, and most of all, roadways. The scenic roads that meander through this hillside is spectacular, especially on days like today. Gives the people a chance to meander out through the woods, be it through riding your motorcycle or hopping off your motorcycle and enjoying a nice short walk up to a tower like this to see this beautiful vista.
After that hike up Pike Lake Tower and a little more riding, I needed some custard. Mickey's is hosting a bike night. Honestly, I'd heard the term bike night, obviously a lot. You know, growing up, it's not a new concept, but I'd never been to one, so I didn't really know exactly what people did at bike night. Now I know. It really is just an opportunity for like-minded motorcyclists, people who love riding and love motorcyclists, to get together and show off your bike and talk about your bike and where you're riding and where you came from, and just have fun.
Every biker needs their own custom gear. Head to Discover Wisconsin's Facebook page to catch a live video of my helmet getting a makeover with a little help from Ryan Fielding at Paragon Customs. Coming up next,
what is a motorcycling trip without a dive bar? I mean, come on.
Stay with us. We're back exploring more of Hartford right here on Discover Wisconsin.
So I've definitely learned that motorcycling goes hand in hand with ice cream and or frozen custard. Scoop DeVille is an ice cream and candy shop. The second you walk in, you're gonna take in this really old-fashioned, kind of nostalgic feel. They have really eccentric candies and phenomenal ice cream.
Scoop DeVille is an ice cream shop with kind of a 50s theme to it. It's a good place to go if you want to kick back a little bit and feel as if you're in a simpler time. We are in Hartford. We're at 65 North Main. We're right on the main drag. Oh, we get bikers in here all the time. You know, everybody comes in saying, I heard you have maple bacon ice cream. So even if they don't buy it, they have to try it. It tastes kind of like breakfast.
I love breakfast foods. I could eat breakfast foods for every single meal. That's really good.
It's just a fun place to go. Everybody likes ice cream.
What is a motorcycling trip without a dive bar? I mean, come on, you've got to stop at the neighborhood bars. I've heard from more than a couple locals that this spot called Erin Inn is the place to go. Oh my gosh, the second we walked in with our cameras and our camera crew, everyone was just so friendly, so excited that we were there. I ordered my root beer and chatted with a lot of the locals, and you could tell everyone was just so excited about, telling us about Hartford. You could tell they were really proud to be from Hartford. So I had to take some of the locals' suggestions, and I broke away from my group for a little while and did a little solo riding around the Hartford area. Just kind of, kicked back and took in the open road on my own. So I'm a big fan of unique accommodations. I think that really helps make your trip or your road trip that much more exciting when you're stopping somewhere that's different, unique, has character, a little history. Westfall Mansion is exactly that. So what is the Westfall Mansion Inn all about? What's kind of the story here?
Well, my husband and I saw this big old building and finding a home, our first home in Hartford. And this home sat upon this hill just in ruin. And it became an intriguing dream of ours to someday be able to purchase this big mansion and possibly doing a B&B.
And here we are.
And here we are. Now all the foliage has been trimmed back. The building is beautiful from the street and even afar. We have 8 suites, all with private attached baths. We still have 2 kitchens in the home. We have, over time, kept the old amenities, but added new modern amenities to the home as well. So the house, even though it is over 100 years old, has central air bubble massage tubs in the rooms. We've added gas fireplaces for a romantic feel.
One reason I love staying at bed and breakfast is every single one is completely unique and distinct in its own way. What is Westfall's uniqueness?
It just gives people an opportunity to relax and just kind of disconnect from the other stresses of life.
Wondering where you can get Harley gear like mine? Check out our live stream on our Discover Wisconsin Facebook page for a little shopping excursion at Board Trackers Harley-Davidson in Janesville. Coming up next,
the famous chicken sandwich. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that looks good. I'm gonna dig in.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Bike Nights and Fall Sights, right here on Discover Wisconsin.
Beyond being known for being the hometown of Tony Romo, Burlington, it's also Chocolate City. So a lot of people will comment on how Burlington smells amazing, which it does. But I don't know if a lot of people really associate Burlington with being a motorcycling destination. As a new rider in the area, I had to meet up with the local HOG chapter to find out a bit more about motorcycling in Burlington. So Jeff, what is it about riding that you love so much?
What I love so much about riding is just the freedom you have doing it, being able to see the sights, the smells, the sounds, not being stuck in a car where you are insulated from what nature has to give you. There's nothing like being able to smell the rain 5 minutes before you get caught in it.
What is it about the Burlington area that you love so much?
Just that all 4 seasons gives you a different view when you're riding. I mean, in the fall, you have the nice coloring of the trees, you have the canopies that you can drive through, you have very little traffic through the area.
I love both wine and cider, big fan of both. So I had to go to Apple True to do a little sampling because that's what I do best. So I found myself here at Apple True with the owner, Charles. Can you tell us a little bit about what this winery is all about, Charles?
Apple True is a cidery. We work with apples and pears almost exclusively and make really fancy hard cider. We're also a distillery, so we go from draft cider at about 5% alcohol, serve it like a beer, all the way up to a sorghum whiskey at 103 proof.
So, I mean, it seems obvious as to what makes this one unique in comparison to a lot of other wineries and cideries across the state, maybe even the Midwest. But what's your take on why this place is special in comparison to the dozens of others around the state?
We can grow a better apple than we can grow a grape. in Wisconsin's climate. So we're partnered with an orchard that grows heirloom varieties, about 200 kinds now. We take all that goodness out of the orchard, and our goal is to deliver it to our customers so that they can enjoy it throughout the year.
This is dangerously good. Okay, so I've heard of this place called John's Main Event, and I've heard that their chicken sandwich is to die for. Like, these people are known for their chicken sandwich. So I have to stop there.
John's Main Event is a sports bar and grill that I opened in April of 1984, and I've been here ever since. It's a local place where people feel comfortable. We have great food. We're noted for our chicken sandwich. Well, we marinate it in a secret sauce, and it's charbroiled. It's skinless, boneless chicken breast, cooked on a charbroiler, and it's just so tender and moist. I mean, people rave about it.
The famous chicken sandwich, thank you. Oh my gosh, that looks good. I'm gonna dig in. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh my gosh. It's so juicy. That is the best, this is literally the best chicken sandwich I've ever had. That chicken sandwich was good, but never one to turn down a little dessert. I'm heading to Adrian's Frozen Custard next, another iconic Burlington spot. What is Adrian's really known for?
It's our homemade flavors, a new flavor every single day. Every day there's a new flavor, whether it be from butter pecan to black raspberry to almond joy. Every day we're open, we have a new flavor.
And I saw today's flavor, or one of them is Hog Heaven.
Hog Heaven.
What is that?
Hog Heaven is a chocolate peanut butter custard. It's got caramel swirl, fudge swirl, pecans. And we thought it would be a good fitting for today to have Hog Heaven.
Yeah, what is going on tonight?
Tonight is our first ever bike night. Throughout the summer we have, thousands and thousands of bikes. We've never really had a formal bike night, but we've seen other businesses do it. And we're proud of our customers, and we'd like people to come and show off their bikes and have a good time and enjoy custard. We always say, like, for 5 minutes when you're here eating your custard, everything is right in the world.
It was pretty obvious to me that Adrian's was really the centralized hub in Burlington. We saw, young families coming up, a little bit of everything. You can tell that it's a hot spot in Burlington. I think Southeastern Wisconsin is an amazing place to ride. The routes starting in downtown Milwaukee that lead out to these rustic roads in places like Hartford and Burlington are phenomenal. I'm not sure enough people really think about Southeastern Wisconsin as a spot to either begin or end their motorcycling route. But there really is such a variety of places to take in, and I think that's what vacations are really all about. To me, it's all about the journey. It's all about being on this bike, but it's also about what you can take in along the way, where you can stop, what you can learn, what you can enjoy.
For more information, behind-the-scenes pics, and past episodes, head to discoverwisconsin.com. Continue the adventure by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Discover Wisconsin Radio.